It's time to get real this Christmas and enjoy the things that matter. I'm Michaela Clark of declutteringyou.com and I'm here to help you simplify your Christmas. Every episode, I'll be here to give you one quick, easy Christmas hack designed to help you simplify your holiday season and find the fun again. Let's go. And welcome, hackers, to another episode of how we're going to simplify this Christmas. Now, one thing I really dislike about Christmas is going to all these functions and parties where you don't really know anyone, or you're speaking to people that you really don't have anything in common with, or you just can't make a conversation with someone and you get sick of talking about the weather. So I love today's episode because we have Stephen Benbow from awkwardsilence.com.au giving us some fantastic conversation starters ideas. And he looks at three main areas where you can start some conversations with people at Christmas time. But he has some really great practical questions that you can ask that not only you get to know people on a deeper level, but also can help you continue connections across the year. And these are some fantastic ideas. Of course, you can find more on his website as well. So let's get rid of that awkward silence with some great conversation starters for this year's Christmas parties. So thanks for joining us today, Stephen. Now, firstly, I'd love to know, what's your favourite Christmas memory as a child?
Thanks for having me on, Michaela. My favourite Christmas memory as a child was the ones you have every year. And for me, that was going to visit my maternal grandfather and spending Christmas Day with my cousins. Lots of Christmas presents, a really colourful time in my childhood, and a real standout memory.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, especially now that my grandfather's gone, but I still get together with my cousins and aunties on that side every Christmas, not on Christmas Day, but it's a tradition that's continued.
Oh, lovely.
And yourself, what's your favourite Christmas memory as a child?
Look, I'd have to say there's two actually. When I was a little child, I got a kitten for Christmas, and I was pretty stoked about that from Santa, I must say. And we called it Sandy Claus. Get it?
Oh.
Yeah, but probably one of my favourite when I was a little bit older, I was probably in my 20s, and I'd never had a Christmas without my parents. I'm an only child. And so they decided to go away for Christmas, and I was quite heartbroken. It's like, but who's going to give me my Santa sack? Like, I'm 23, but I still want my Santa sack delivered every year with presents in it. And they had gone away, and what they'd done was I'd had a new boyfriend at the time, and they'd posted the Santa sack with presents in it to him because I was going to his parents' house for Christmas, and they got a photo done of them with the sack and blown up to put on the sack. So when I woke up Christmas morning, there was still a Christmas sack from them and their photo and everything. So that was a lovely memory. That was lovely.
Yeah, it's amazing how Christmas really makes those memories stand out. It's just that great time for memory making.
It is. Now, one thing that I hate is going to parties where I don't know a lot of people, and it is that awkward silence that you talk about, and it's like, oh, how's that weather? That's not really a great opener always. So I thought it'd be great to have you on the show and try and help us hack some cool conversation starters. So I'd love to know what perhaps your first hack is in getting a conversation started, or some ideas at your next Christmas party.
Yeah, for Christmas parties and in general, when you're with someone for a while to have a conversation, small talk is often a bad way to get bogged down in uncomfortable pauses because, you're talking about weather or sport, just some easy go-to topics that can't really be drawn out and aren't very personal. So our first hack for you guys is to get personal, and our first hack is to reflect on the year. So Christmas is a time for reflection on the year just gone. It's a great time to take stock of where you're at. So some conversation starters that we would encourage you to try would be, how would you summarise 2016 in a word? Or how have you changed or grown in the last 12 months? What has been your personal highlight of 2016? What did you achieve in the last 12 months? And what we remember about 2016. And these are ones where, you can do it with someone who you've just met for the first time as a way to get an insight into what their life is like. But it's also good if you're at a work Christmas party, because I find that, often in a work environment, you're talking in a work capacity a lot of the time, and you don't always get to know each other very well. So this is a way to get an insight into, what that person is like, what they do with their time, if they're happy with where they're at. And the same goes for you, because generally they'll bounce those questions right back at you, and it's a good chance for you to reflect as well on where you're at.
Yeah, it is. And all of those have got me thinking already. It's like, well, I'd have to think about that one. So that's really interesting. I love that. And I think it's good, to also ask people that you know, because, what my husband might be his highlight, I might be really surprised at. And again, learning new things about people that we know. So I really love those questions. They're awesome. And we will have them up on our website as well, and we'll link to that so you can have copies of these questions as well for anyone listening.
Yeah, and it's a good way to see where someone's head at is as well, because sometimes we think we can know where a person's at, but often that's a bit delayed from where their thoughts are really at before they've, told you about them. So yeah, great example, with your husband as to how differently he's looked at your world this year, I guess. Yeah, but even the first one, how would you summarize 2016 in a word? It's a one-word answer, but it's always an answer that's going to get drawn out a bit more. Is it transitional? Is it growing? Is it it could be anywhere, and it depends on the individuals you're with as to what answers you're going to get from that.
Yeah, and also one big theme of these Hack the Holidays podcasts has been to perhaps lower your expectations. So if you are talking to your family or husband or close ones with these questions, don't be disappointed in their answers. Don't expect them to say, this was the best year ever because this happened with us or whatever. This is their answers. So, I know that sometimes we assume things or we shouldn't. So I'd say, when you're asking these questions, be prepared for the answer and be open to it. It might not be what necessarily you think it would be.
Yeah. And the other side of the coin is don't be afraid to dig a bit with the answers as well, because some people, their immediate reaction will be, I've done nothing in the last 12 months, or there's nothing I'll remember about this year. But when you dig a bit, they start remembering all sorts of things. So the other day I asked someone, what do you remember about 2009? And they said, nothing. And then they thought about it and went, hang on, I went on a trip to Europe. I got pregnant with my first kid. All these things that actually really stood out once you dig a bit. So don't be afraid to dig if someone's, not offering up a great answer straight away.
Yeah.
Let them have a bit of a think.
Awesome. All right. So what would be the next area we could start conversations around?
So, the first hack leads a bit into the second hack. So you've reflected on the year gone past, and the second hack is to talk about ambitions for the new year. So if you're a bit unhappy with your answers on the last one, what you achieved in the past 12 months, have a think about where you want to be 12 months from now. So what new skill do you want to learn in the next 12 months? How can you have more fun this coming year? What should be your theme or focus for 2017? And what things do you want to be different this time next year, and how will you make that happen? So these are, as I said, conversation starters about your ambitions for the new year, but there's lots of ways you can expand on those. So if someone says, I want to watch less TV next year, say, well, hey, how are you going to make that happen? What are you going to replace that with? Do you want to lose weight for the new year? Do you want your theme to be gratitude for the new year? But the great thing about this hack, though, is that it actually sets you up for great conversations in the year ahead. So if someone's telling you their ambitions, for instance, that gratitude one, or if they want to learn how to dance this year, then throughout the year when you see them in 2017, you can come back to those ambitions.
Oh, I love that. There's some great accountability there, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a conversation that keeps on giving, I guess. Yeah, so for instance, if it's in the workplace, you've had this at a work Christmas party. Next time you see them, you're not just commenting on how crap work is or how the weather is. Next time you see them, you're going to be saying, have you signed up for that dance class yet? Or how's that book you're writing coming along? Or what are you thankful for today? If that was your gratitude was your theme. So it's a conversation that keeps coming back and keeps growing and expanding. And because as well you're talking about your ambitions and passions, you're going to have a connection with them that others won't, because you're getting an insight into them that is the real them.
That's right. And also, if you're talking about some goals or things that you want to start, you never know what that person may know or who they may know. So if you're saying, oh, I want to start doing Latin dance classes, but I just haven't found anywhere yet, and that person will go, oh, actually, my cousin holds these dances. I can put you in touch. So you never know what you give out will come back to you as well. And that's another reason I love that one.
Exactly. And with all conversation, there's a real synergy there. So if you guys are talking about things you want to do for the next year, there's often an inspiring effect in that. So, you may not, these may not be things you'll figure out on your own, but when someone starts talking, it gives you your own ideas. So, yeah, if they're talking about a year of gratitude or they want to complain less or something like that, you might say, yeah, I want to do that too. Or even like with the dance classes, they go, hey, how about we do that together? So, yeah, it can be inspiring having those conversations, and really, it's a great time to be inspired leading into that new year because it feels like a new chapter.
Awesome. All right. So it is Christmas time. So is there some ideas around conversation starters for, that are more Christmasly themed?
Yeah. So our third hack is to get into meaningful conversations about Christmas, because you always hear everyone saying, Christmas is so commercial nowadays, but it's more complaining about it rather than offering a solution. So our third hack is to, get into a meaningful conversation about Christmas. Discuss with your friend how to inject more Christmas spirit into your December, instead of just asking them, how much more Christmas shopping they have. Really get into a deep conversation about it. So some examples of ways to get that started might be, what does Christmas mean to you? What is a gift you could make for your mother this year? What meaningless, annoying Christmas things should you stop doing? What is an alternative to chocolate for your advent calendar? Or what Christmas tradition do you want to start? Again, these are Christmas hacks that are designed to be inspiring. I've seen, especially that advent calendar one. I've seen lots of good ideas shared around. Some people have, wine advent calendars. I did one on Facebook a few years ago of just sharing a Christmas memory every day, and people really loved that, and that generated a lot of conversation with people I was with. Ask them about really what Christmas is.
Oh, that's great. And I love that. I have noticed this year a lot of people asking about advent calendars that aren't sugar or chocolate related. I think people are really looking for new ideas around that as well. So that's a great one. And I think Christmas is such an interesting time, even just doing this series. At the top of the show, I always ask people a Christmas-related question. And it's amazing what you learn about people and some of the memories and traditions and just their past and how Christmas has impacted their lives. So it is such a great time of year to bring up in conversation.
Yeah. So all these hacks are designed to bring out the best parts of conversation. They aim to build up a better connection between with the person you're with, and they help to inspire a new thought. And that, for me, that's much better than making forced small talk or looking for an excuse to move on. When you're at a Christmas party, you're there to have fun. You're there for a reason. So really make it an opportunity to grow in yourself and in with friends.
And now you have a great business, which I guess is going to hack the hacks for us, called Awkward Silence. So I'd love you to tell us a little bit about that business and how people can find out about you they may not have this level of creativity. So how can they get inspired every week?
Thanks for asking about that, Michaela. I do run Awkward Silence, and we make it easier for people to have better conversations, not just at Christmas, throughout the whole year. So we do this primarily by sending our subscribers conversation starters each week, and there's a mix of fun, interesting, and unusual discussion topics. So essentially, it's a life hack, which I know that your listeners love. It's pretty easy. You just hop on there. It costs less than $1 a month. You get 10 new ones every week, and there's a mix of sort of deeper ones or lighthearted ones, basically ones that get you steering the conversation away from the usual cliches of, how's work going, or, just commenting on the sport or commenting on the weather. We really want people to have engaging conversations. So that's what we do. And if your listeners want to subscribe, look us up on awkwardsilence.com.au. We've also just got great articles there about having better conversations if you don't want to subscribe, and there's a few samplers up there too if people want to just try some out for free.
Excellent. And I've just had an idea. I think every week next year I'm going to pose one of these questions to my Facebook family and friends and get to learn more about them. So that's another great way of getting to connect with people throughout the year that perhaps I don't catch up with in person as much as I should.
Yeah, and because we're always people are always going out for coffees with people, or they get to a stage in their relationship as well where they think they know everything about their partner. So awkward silence is a great way for people to get talking again. I think conversation is where is what keeps people's connection alive. It's really the lifeblood of relationships. So yeah. If this sounds like you're the kind of person that needs awkward silence in your life, hop on the website, awkwardsilence.com.au.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much, Stephen. I hope you have a wonderful, chatty, meaningful Christmas.
Thanks to you too, Michaela. Have a Merry Christmas.
It's time to embrace a perfectly imperfect Christmas. Head over to declutteringU.com/Christmas hacks to grab a free copy of the Hack the Holidays Handbook to help you get organised, simplify, and actually enjoy your Christmas this year.